What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Midwest MotoGirl podcast. It feels like it has been a hot minute since I've done any podcasting. So today we are going to change that. But I've just been busy motorcycle racing, to be honest. So I spent the last 2 weekends at the racetrack. This is my first weekend home. And I think I only had like one off weekend between when I was at Eagles Canyon. So I was like at Eagles Canyon beginning of June. Then I was at TrackAddix at Motorsport Park Hastings. Then over 4th of July weekend, I was racing at Circuit of the Americas with the CMRA. And so today we're going to get into a track day recap with TrackAddix out at Motorsport Park Hastings from the weekend. It's been about 2 weeks now, but it was in the middle of June. And then the next episode, I will get you guys a full race recap on what it was like to race with the CMRA at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas over 4th of July. I know that there's a lot of people that have been waiting for that one, and I will get that to you, but the TrackAddix weekend at Motorsport Park Hastings was just so good, and there was so much progress made there that I don't want to skip over that. Let's get into the weekend. Saturday was a track day, Sunday was a track day, and at the end of the track day on Saturday night, we had the TrackAddix GP race series where I raced in the lightweight race, and then they also have a superbike race at the end of the day. I have a group of friends that, or one specific friend, that he likes to show up to the track really, really early. So he's been showing up to the track really early, and he has actually just been bringing his Grom and riding around Hastings, discovering the town and finding new places to eat and things like that. And so he keeps texting me between track weekends, and he's like, hey, we got to have a scooter night. Hey, we need to ride Groms. We need to scoot around in Hastings. He just wants to ride mini bikes with his friends, which is completely awesome. I completely understand why he wants to ride mini bikes with his friends because it's so much fun. It's so fun. But anyways, at the May track day, we did the same thing on Friday night where 4 or 5 of us, we all took our little scooters and our mini bikes and we rode across Hastings, Nebraska to this little Italian restaurant, and it was delicious. Well, then for June, we decided to do the same thing, but he had found a taco truck. So we rode over to this taco truck and the food was phenomenal. Oh my God, it was so good. I wish I remembered the name of the taco truck, but it's a taco truck out on, West 2nd Street. It's west of downtown Hastings. So if you're listening to the podcast and you're looking for some place to go to dinner at the next TrackAddix event that you go to, you got to check out the taco truck out on West 2nd Street. Like I said, it's just west of downtown in Hastings, and it's on the south side of the street. It's like a taco truck, and then they have a carport awning with picnic tables and stuff underneath of it. It is so good. So good. But anyways, so we rode over there and that was a blast. There was, I think, 4 of us that went, modern, so I'm going to call them scooters, but they're mini bikes. And then the one guy, he just got a Yamaha, I think it's a Yamaha DT100. It's a little 2-stroke, 100cc, enduro kind of bike from the 70s. And the thing is awesome. It's beautiful. It's this beautiful, pearl purple, all original. And he was so excited to ride that. He said that was the first motorcycle he owned when he was 13. And he picked it up at the end of April or something like that. He found it on an auction and had it shipped to his house. So it was awesome to see him get to ride that and see all the attention that little bike got when we were at the taco truck. There were so many people that came up and asked about it or said things about it. Or even on my social media, I posted a picture of us all with our little scooter ride to the taco truck. And people were sending me comments about yeah, that bike is awesome. I really like this one. So that was fun. And that was a good time. And then after we got back from eating way too many tacos, we just went into the track walk, and I actually biked the track. So I brought my bicycle, and a track walk is helpful to me where I can go on a track walk and have a map and make notes and things like that. But at Motorsport Park Hastings, I know the line. I've seen the track map a bajillion times, and there's still work and lines that I can clean up. But I've learned that I get more benefit out of actually bicycling on the track because it gives me a little bit different perspective than just walking. So I actually I have a perspective more I'm on a motorcycle when I'm on a bicycle. And so I've started trying to bring my bicycle and bike at Motorsport Park Hastings. And it really shows me how much track there is out there when you're on a bicycle and you're moving and you're not just walking. One of the things that I did that I haven't actually done before when I've been biking is I'll have like my fingers on the brakes and pretend that it's like the clutch and the brake on my motorcycle. And I was actually like mimicking the motions of like throttle on, okay, throttle off, brake, 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 brake. Okay, now you're letting off the brakes, you're getting back on the throttle. And like just practicing that motion as I was riding my bike on the track and as I'm seeing the brake markers and I'm going through the corners and some of those kinds of things, which I don't know if it helped. It felt like it helped. And I'll be honest, any sort of practice like that for me is going to be a good thing. So the more that I can do that, I think like the more benefit I'm going to get out of that. I feel like that was really successful. It was like a fun way to spend a Friday night at the racetrack. Then Saturday was our normal track day. And I only rode my Ninja 400 during the track day. Going into the weekend, like a couple of days prior to, I got a text from my friend Brett. He wasn't going to be at the track day. He was racing over in Europe that weekend. And he was asking me what the goal or what the plan was on how I could get more comfortable on my Ninja 400. As I was reading his text, I was like, I don't actually know what the plan is. Like, I don't know what to do to get more comfortable on this bike. I told him like, well, I talked to Scott. Scott's going to ride with me and Scott's going to try and help me a little bit. And then Brett just jumped into like super instructor mode and he sent me a whole bunch of like pointers and tips and text messages while he was on the airplane over to Germany, telling me like how he approaches learning a new track. And there was a ton of information in there. There was too much information in there for me to practice everything all in one track day. But the big takeaway and like the big tip that he had for me was like, don't worry so much about corner entry speed. Just focus on where you can get on the gas earlier in the corner and try and maximize your corner exits. That's what I did on Saturday during the track day. I went into it with two goals. Goal number one, have fun. The last time I rode my Ninja 400 at Hastings was in the GP race. And I was really disappointed and it wasn't fun. And so I was like, I just want to ride this motorcycle and have fun with it. And I don't care about my lap times. So that was goal number one, have fun. And then goal number two, focus on when you can get on the gas earlier. So all throughout the weekend while I was riding, I didn't care about what brake markers I was using. I didn't care about how fast I was going or how hard I was braking. I was just focused on, okay, you see the apex, you're at the apex, get on the gas. And I was physically telling myself, like, out loud in my helmet, apex gas, like every single corner. And so by the end of the track day, I felt really good. I was happy with lap times. I felt really good going into the GP race at the end of the day. And like the whole day was just like very slow, very chill. It was just kind of like fun and relaxing. And it was definitely a different vibe. And some of that reason is because we didn't have our whole crew. So it was just like me, Scott, and Sarah in our pit together. So it was like a very small little group. And so every time I went out, it was just like, I felt relaxed. I was ready to have fun. Wasn't like putting a bunch of pressure on myself. And again, like every lap, every corner, I was using my eyes. I was looking at the apex, looking out, and I would see, okay, apex, gas. And it was like, that was kind of like my mental trigger. Like, you see your apex, now look out. And again, I felt really good on the 400. It felt great. So then going into the GP race, I was all pumped up and I was like, yeah, this is going to be awesome. And I was in it. I was excited. I was happy. I was like dancing around before we got ready to go out. Like, I did not feel nervous at all. I'm excited, happy, like just, hey, I want to have fun. I don't care what happens. I hadn't even thought about like, am I going to be on the podium this weekend? Like, I'm going to win. Hadn't even thought about any of that. Wasn't putting any kind of pressure on myself to like beat this person or tag onto that person. It was just like, I just want to ride. So we go out. We do our warm-up lap. Everything feels great. We're on the starting line. And I wheelied the start. And then I set it down. And then I wheelied again and set it down. And then I finally just drove away from the start line very slowly. It was the worst race start I've ever had. It was so bad. And if you are somebody that rides with TrackAddix that's listening to the podcast, go look at the TrackAddix page. And Craig posted a video of the race start. And you will see my start. It was so bad. So bad. Actually, I should just save that video and post that on my social media for you guys to all laugh at if you're not on the TrackAddix page. But anyways, so super, super bad start. I was just like, oh God. Like everything that I wanted to not happen just happened. And I was like in last place into turn one, but I didn't care. Like, I didn't care that I was in last going to turn one. I could see like the pack of riders up in front of me. And then in my head, it was just like, okay, now it's go time. Like, catch up and get through the pack. And so I caught the rider in front of me. He was on a KTM 390, and he normally runs pretty fast laps. Like, I'm going to say like minute 44, minute 42s is what I've seen him run in the past. And so I was like, get him, like, go, 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 like, get him. And so I got like caught up to him, got around him. And then like the front part of the pack had kind of like already taken off by that point. But then I saw TC. TC, he used to ride an R3 that was built. Now he rides a Ninja 400. And he's one of the instructors with TrackAddix. He's faster than I am. In other TrackAddix races, like in the past, he always just drives away from me because he's always been 5 to 10 seconds faster than me. And so I saw him and I was like, oh my God, go catch TC. Like, it didn't feel like he was driving away from me. And so then I was like, get him, like, go, go, go. I caught up to him and I literally followed him for like 4 or 5 laps of the race. And there was a couple of times that I was like, you could get him here, like, oh, you could pass him. And I didn't want to put a dirty pass on him because I know that he's a faster rider than me. And so I showed him a wheel on the brakes into turn 13 on one of those laps. And I think that's when it clicked in his head where he was like, crap, I'm about to get passed by Sydney. Because then he like picked up the pace and he definitely took off. And he got away from me for a little bit. And then I caught back up to him in like turn 9, 10. And he had a bike issue going into turn 11. And I was like, oh my God, here's my chance. And so I thought maybe he object fixated and like went wide into the corner or something like that. And I was like, here's my chance. Like, I can get around him and then he's going to come back on the track and like, we're going to battle back and forth. But ends up, he had that issue. He ran off into the grass and then he just pitted and he ended his race early. Turns out he was having a front end issue with his bike where he wasn't confident and wasn't comfortable riding it. So he pitted early. But then when I talked to him after the race, he was like, the entire time after you showed me a wheel, he was like, I was waiting for you to catch me and to come past me. He was like, I was trying to pull you along. I was like, gosh, dang it. Like, Sydney, get it out of your head that you can't catch these guys because you know what their lap times are. Like, just be like, I'm here. This is my race and I can do it. But anyways, I ended up finishing the GP race in second place for lightweight amateur class. And I was just like on cloud 9, literally like on the freaking moon. I have wanted a TrackAddix podium for so long. And I think the reason that I have wanted to be on the podium at TrackAddix is because I've been going to TrackAddix and I've been going to Motorsport Park Hastings for so long. And there's a lot of really fast people that ride there. And I've wanted to be with the fast people for so long. Like, just for what feels like forever. I'm not one of the fast people yet, but it feels like I'm making progress to get there. And there's also a lot of people that are there cheering for me. Like, they want to see me win and they want to see me do well. So like, being able to do that at my home track with the fast people, it just made me feel really good. And my goal for the whole race season was to be on the podium at TrackAddix. And I did that in June. So I'm just, even talking about it and thinking about it, like, it makes me so freaking happy. So that was Saturday, and I was literally on cloud 9, like, all night Saturday. Just couldn't believe it. So Bill from Motorcycle Supply, he was riding on Sunday with his Triumph 765 Street Triple. And the girl that works at the shop, we call her Nikki. Her real name is Hayden, but we call her Nikki. She was also there on Sunday, and she was riding with Bill on the back. So he was like doing 2-up rides. And so he came over to me Saturday night. He was kind of like talking smack to me a little bit. And he's like, what's your fastest lap today? I'm going to beat you 2-up. And I was like, okay. So then he came over to our pit area and he was like, all right, like, I'm ready to go out. And I told him, well, give me 30 minutes and then we can go out together. And I went out with Bill and I was in front of Bill and I was coming through turn 2 as he was getting on the track. He's on a 765, so he should have just been able to blow by me on the straightaway, like, catch me. And like, you come out of turn 2 and then you have a long straightaway, then turn 3, then another long straightaway. So like, Bill had plenty of horsepower to catch up to me as he was getting on the track as I was coming through turn 2, and he never did. And the whole time I was like, go, 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 go. Like, it was just in my head, like, you gotta ride really fast right now. And a couple of the laps coming through 13, I could see like Bill's way back behind me. Like, he's coming out of 12 as I'm coming out of 13. And I was like, what is happening? So I did a few more laps and then ended up getting off the track. And after I got off and I was just hanging out in my pit again, Bill comes over. He's like, good riding. He's like, you're riding really, really well. You look really smooth out there. He's like, I can't touch you. I can't touch you two up. And like on Sunday, that was a huge feather in my cap because Bill historically, like, I want to ride fast because Bill thinks I'm slow. And like how ridiculous that is. Like Bill is one of the instructors, and nothing against him, but he doesn't beat around the bush, and so he has openly told me many times that I'm slow. And he's like, you should be faster than this. Like, you've been riding here for years. I'm like, yeah, thank you. I agree. I should be faster than this after riding here for years, but I'm not. And so when he compliments me on my riding, it feels really good, where I'm like, yes, like I'm finally doing something right and I'm finally getting fast. And so yeah, he came over and he complimented me and he was like, yeah, I can't touch you two up. You're riding really well. You're getting along with that 400 really well. And I was just like, yes, like it's all working. It's all coming together. And so then that's when I went out with TC, and he was behind me and I was waiting for him to catch up with me. I was waiting for him to come around me and then give me a tow, and he couldn't. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, we'll get it next time, like blah, blah, blah. And so I went back in and I was talking with Scott and Sarah, and they're looking at lap times for me. And Scott's like, you ran a 45.8. And I was like, oh my God, like really? I just ran a 145.8? Because that's a new personal best for me at Hastings. My fastest lap last year was a 45.9, and I did it one lap in one race, and I haven't been able to do it again. And so Scott was like, you just did a 45.8 on a Sunday in practice because you thought TC was going to pass you. He's like, think about what you can do in a race. And I was like, you're right. Think about what I can do in a race if I can do that on a Sunday in practice. And so that has me like really pumped up and really amped up to go back to Hastings in 2 weeks. And it will actually be like the Great Plains Ducati Festival in 2 weeks. So it's the last weekend of July. It's July 24th, 25th, and 26th. TrackAddix will be there on Saturday and on Sunday. And then the Great Plains Ducati Festival will be going on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we'll have our track day and we'll ride, and it's going to be awesome. I'm signed up for the GP race again. I'm really, really excited to be back at Hastings and riding on a familiar track and like just continue clicking away at the laps. But anyway, so back to the Great Plains Ducati Festival. So Ducati of Omaha, they actually own the TrackAddix organization. And so they run TrackAddix and the track days out at MPH. And so with it being like their Great Plains Ducati Festival, they're celebrating 20 years of Ducati Omaha being in business. And then they're also celebrating like an anniversary of Ducati. So they're putting on like a big deal where they're going to have demo rides on the track, on the street, and there's an enduro course on the outside of the track. So you'll be able to ride Ducati street bikes. They'll have bikes for the track, and then they also have Ducati dirt bikes doing demo rides Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then they're going to have like kind of like a reception on Friday night for Ducati owners. Saturday we'll have our normal track day and our GP races at the end of the day. They're going to have like a big Ducati party on Saturday night at the track that's open for anybody who's signed up for the Great Plains Festival and anybody that is there doing the track day. And then same thing again on Sunday, where you'll have open demo rides on the track, on the street, and on the enduro course. And then they're also going to have PJ Jacobson and Kayla Yakov are going to be there as Ducati representatives. And it sounds like they may also be doing some private coaching as well. So it's going to be a great weekend. If you're in the Midwest, whether you are a Ducati owner or not, like you're just a lover of motorcycles, you need to be at Motorsport Park Hastings the last weekend in July. It's going to be an epic weekend. I'm so excited. And I actually looked at race entries a couple of nights ago, and I saw that my buddy Brett is signed up to race in the GP race. And I'm going to have to text him after I'm done podcasting and tell him like, hey, I'm expecting a tow. Like, come on, dude. So I'm expecting it to be a great weekend at Hastings. I'm still just like, I can't believe all the progress that it feels like I made in a very short amount of time. I'm really excited about it, and I'm really, really excited to see what comes next. So thanks for tuning in to this episode. If you are enjoying the podcast, please share this with your friends. Please share it on your social media. You can follow me on my social media. My Instagram is midwest.motogirl, just like the name of the podcast. Or my racing page on Facebook is Sydney Gard, Gard Racing. Again, thanks for listening. I hope to see everybody out at Motorsport Park Hastings the last weekend in July, and we'll catch you guys for the next episode. Bye.